The last 2 years of my life, I've spent traveling through a region of the world known as the Middle East. I have seen the aftermath of war in Iraq, witnessed oppression firsthand in Iran, as well as experienced true luxury on the streets of Dubai. And after all of this, I can confidently say that Oman is the only country in this region that you really need to visit. In this video, we will take you on a journey through the 2 capital cities of this incredible land. You will see what makes Oman so unique compared to its neighbors. Learn how traveling the Middle East can be safe and easy for everybody. And also understand why visiting luxurious places like Dubai and Qatar might not be the best idea for you. Our journey this time begins in a mountainous part of Oman. After 600 kilometers of dead straight desert roads, this is such a blessing. We had entered the country on a previous day and drove late into the night, before making camp in pitch darkness. It's late. We're somewhere up in the mountains now. We could hardly contain our excitement as we realized where we had spent the night. It's massive. Wow. Seeing such mountains after spending days and weeks in the desert felt truly incredible. We shared the little breakfast we had with few hungry locals in need. You like it? One more? Bye? Bye? Well, goodbye guys. Bye bye. We started up the old rust bucket and honestly had no idea that this magnificent sight could only be considered a small surprise compared to what was waiting for us in our next destination. Nisva was going to be the first city we saw in Oman. And well, you just don't expect one city to completely change your opinion of a whole country, or even more, the entire region of the world. And I guess what I mean by this is when you search Middle East on our modern news and social media sites, there's only 2 very opposing ways that this place is portrayed. One of them shows war and instability that never seems to end. The second, on the other hand, shows extreme luxury. Futuristic cities like Qatar and Dubai, full of skyscrapers and sports cars. Places where having a good time is directly dependent on how many thousands of dollars you're willing to spend each day. I think I just have to say that never in my life before have I felt bad that I'm not really rich. And well, as Oman is known to be a very safe and stable country, then I clearly lean towards the second option. But as you can probably guess, I wasn't completely right. Ooh-wee! We have made it to the historic capital city of Oman, Nisva. And first, looks around. Absolutely stunning. This place feels more like a small town than a city with nearly 100,000 people living there. Just walking the narrow streets makes you feel like you're a part of an old movie. You know, the sort with cheesy Arabic music on the background, where date palms grow between mosques and sand-colored houses. Yet the lack of modernistic buildings and glass skyscrapers is no accident. Oman has strict laws in place prohibiting the construction of structures that don't align with the cultural and historic style of this land. I know, it might sound a little weird that a government would dictate to its citizens what they can and cannot build. But then again, most countries have those laws. We just don't think about them that often. Commonly, they simply apply to certain historic neighborhoods. And without a doubt, they are there for a reason. Let's just imagine the blue and white island of Santorini in Greece. Because I guess all of us know that one person who would just have to, due to the reason unknown to mankind, paint their house pink. ruining it for everybody else. So yeah, thanks to this, the cities and streets here feel much more interesting and inviting compared to the glass and concrete jungles that simply make you feel small in the neighboring countries. Yet as we entered the famous Nisva market, we quickly realized that architecture is far from the only thing making Oman so different. Instead of having to fight with a pushy salesman, the market is very calm, it's very quiet. Okay, I have to admit that for some, perhaps the place is even too calm. We could take our time browsing the locally made handcrafts. Super cool to see that again there's so much handcraft and local stuff and antique stuff. We missed this in Bahrain and Qatar over there on those markets. Almost nothing was local. Here, everything. The market hall smelled amazing, thanks to the frankincense that was burned on almost every corner. And of course, there was just no way that we could leave this place without tasting this country's most popular fruit. If there's a wedding coming up in your family and you need a date, this here is date market. Oh my lord. Honestly, I had no idea that there even is so many different kind of dates in the world. We did our best trying to hide the fact that we knew less about dates than a fish knows about mountains.
Very deep aftertaste.
A hint of citrus.
A little bit sugary.
Just lingers in your mouth.
No, actually they all taste the same.
And as we left this market, all sugared up by the dates, we couldn't ignore the fact that other parts of town felt even calmer. I thought it was silent at the market, but then you come to the streets a few blocks away and nothing. I'm not joking when I say that on the smaller side streets, a single bicycle bell felt like a true disturber of peace. Birds are singing, just silence. And we could literally hear the conversations people were having inside of their homes. I guess it's a good thing that we don't understand Arabic, because let's be honest, no one likes eavesdropping. Even in the most popular tourist attraction of this city, the tranquil atmosphere remained. Only things breaking the silence here were other tourists. Our weird discoveries. Wait, I just realized, chairs with legs are usually in a Nordic and cold countries, because cold air goes down on the ground and so you have to be further up so that your butt wouldn't freeze. But in warm countries, in Arabic countries and also like India, people sit on the ground because that's cooler over there. And occasionally bad jokes. Okay, I think this feature was added in the modern times. But of course, just with the architecture, this too had a very good explanation.
Also, when you're up here, you can hear the whole street. But the thing is, it's very, very quiet. Like, you would not understand that you're in the middle of the city.
This country works hard to maintain this meditative and calm atmosphere. Liisu is absolutely correct. And a little fun fact, honking your car's horn without very, very convincing reason is illegal in Oman. They take huge pride in the silence and tranquility of their cities and streets. And after hours and hours, the only thing that did not felt authentic in the city was this one here. Oman is also known for a very weird fact. Next to coffee, Mountain Dew is one of the most popular drinks in this country. They call it Omani alcohol. It tastes like a flute tea from my childhood, like Fairfax, if anybody knows this. After spending the whole day discovering and learning about Nisva, I could not help but smile. Months and months we had traveled on the Arabian Peninsula, but for the first time I felt like I was in a place that I fantasized about as a child. A dreamlike location I could picture in my mind when my mom was reading to me about a distant prince with a flying carpet. Yet let's be honest, of course, you cannot judge a whole country by just seeing one historic town. And so we had to set our course to Muscat, the modern capital of Oman. A place that would teach us more about Middle Eastern culture and people than we had learned in other Gulf countries combined. Our day started earlier than any person in their rightful mind would prefer. But there was a clear mission, and we headed to a place where most tourists start their Omani holiday. Airports are confusing every time. Doesn't matter how many times you've been to one. Yet we're not here for the airplanes, but much more importantly, to find reinforcements. This is Damon.
Is it wiggling or is it just me?
It's you.
Our longtime friend and a member of our travel family on Patreon. And he just so happened to be the best possible person to help us discover Oman's biggest city.
I'm missing music.
We began with a quick breakfast on a beach. And of course, to give Damon the first taste of local culture, we also decided to light some frankincense. Once fueled up and caffeinated, we made our way to a site that every tourist should visit. The most famous mosque in Oman, Sultan Qaboos Mosque. The high marble arches, beautiful contrasting colors, and the incredible attention to detail makes it a truly amazing place to see. Those massive rocks full of colors. It took 40 years to just create those rocks here. Just the amount of handcraft that is put into this place, it's magnificent. The mosque is open to guests until 11 each morning. And as the cleaning crew rushed in, we knew that it was time to move on. Our quest of discovering Muscat brought us to many interesting places. We have arrived near the Sultan's palace. Some of them were simply beautiful to look at. Liisu, would you like to live there?
I live in a car. Is that a really good comparison?
Other places were utterly strange, yet at the same time fit so perfectly in this country. So this thing up there is a giant incense burner. It's supposed to give the smell of frankincense to the whole city. It's sadly closed at the moment, but I imagine there being like a big flame in there, and it gives this good smell to the whole place. And then, of course, the ruby clock tower. There were things that were simply practical. Say something beautiful about the tower.
It's huge, and it shows the correct time.
But wherever we went, there were certain aspects that stayed the same. We couldn't believe when we heard that the highest building in Oman is only about 50 meters, and so even the capital itself, with its modest houses, felt humble and inviting. From the windy seaside to the high mountain viewpoints, this place maintained its unique style. And it didn't really matter if we were walking on a busy market or accidentally got lost in the back alleys of a lower income part of town. Because not for a moment did we feel unsafe while on those streets. But perhaps most importantly, wherever our road took us, we felt welcome in this country. The legendary Arabic hospitality is still a huge part of Omani culture. And even in such a big and touristic place like Muscat, total strangers would offer us their help and invite us over. And a gentleman just stopped in the middle of the road. I didn't film him, but his name was Sultan, and he said that he wants to take us for lunch or dinner, or He gave us his number. It was very kind, very welcoming. For a second we thought he was like a tour guide offering his services, but no, he was just sincerely kind. And yet I guess the situation that best demonstrates it happened when we asked a Omani travel guide, Shuma, if he could recommend a local restaurant with good food. Well, not only did he show us to the restaurant himself, but as we found out after finishing the meal, he also secretly paid for the whole meal before taking his leave. And it was just such an amazing feeling to see Damon receive his first hand. A hand gesture literally meaning your money is no good here in the Middle Eastern countries.
Just now I said bye and he goes... So I still don't understand that.
And in the light of such kindness, you can most likely understand why this country definitely deserves a visit. Oman is the only Arabic nation that, after finding oil, has stayed true to their historic and cultural background. They haven't let money change their ways, and for this reason, combined with its safety and incredible nature, makes it a truly unique and most authentic travel destination in the whole Arabian Peninsula. Friends, thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again next Thursday, as then we will leave the cities behind and take on a challenge like no other. We will head alone into the desert for days, following the ancient trails of Bedouins, in hopes of being as brave and resilient as those nomads once were. I don't like spiders. Oh fuck, and I didn't even think about scorpions.